Kenny, you addressed something on your radio show last night I thought was interesting because there was a video that kind of made the rounds on Twitter of you and Elle, and you're kind of laughing with him, and some people took that as, I don't know how people took it, but some people didn't like it. And I wondered, in general, not just in that incident, but in general, what your approach has been to dealing with guys who are struggling and are having a hard time.
I wouldn't, first of all, say I was laughing. I could say I was smiling. Second of all, I think being a coach and dealing with young people, there's more than one way to get the most out of them. So Elle went through an emotional moment. We took him out the game. He was obviously frustrated. I made him sit with me in the front of the bench. Told him what my plan was. Don't panic. Don't be frustrated. He looked at me and said, "Coach, I love you. Thank you. Love you back. You're a little crazy, but I love you. Get ready to get back in the game." To me, that's a part of this, is that from the outside looking in, it may look one way, but the reality of it is you're dealing with human beings, not robots. And sometimes you got to find the best way to get them to see themselves differently or to get through a situation. And I think I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that there are times where I'm jumping L's behind and he's frustrated and I'm frustrated and I'm yelling. And there are times when I put my arms around him. That's coaching. If that answers the question.
What in a bigger sense, I guess, what are some of these guys? This is not an easy place to lose because there are expectations and fans and some of us will be critical. How do you sort of make sure they're handling all that stuff okay?
We talk about it probably every day. How do we get you to be better? We talk about the responsibility of getting lost in the game, the responsibility, what does that really mean? That means you don't look around to your left or your right. You don't have time to dwell on what's on the outside. You can only dwell on how do we get better? How do we play winning basketball? How do we make turnovers less? How do we rebound better? How do we, a big one for us is we're playing good, we're in the game, and all of a sudden adversity hits and it swings their way. The momentum goes to the other team. They go on a run. How do we handle that? Right now it looks like what happens is one player decides, okay, we're down 6. I got to be the guy to make this 3. Then it goes down 9 or 12. So we have to trust each other. We have to trust the process, stay within each other, keep moving the ball, keep sharing the ball, take good shots, be solid on defense, rebound the ball, and let's get a good shot. Trust it.
Yeah. How about for you? I mean, I know this can't be easy for you. Who do you talk to that keeps you going the right direction?
A little bit of everybody, to be honest with you. The one good thing that I feel about this whole situation is that I know it's going to get fixed. I feel more bad about the kids because they deserve to have some success, but you got to earn it. So for me, I try to take myself out of the equation. I try to do whatever I have to do to help them understand and not, look, I've never lost this much, so it's hard. But at the flip side of that, it's a part of the process. It's just the reality of it. It's a part of the process. Some of this was done before I walked in the doors. And I have to look at it and not to blame anybody, find a way to fix it, to get the kids to think different, to get the kids to believe that they can win. And that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we are going to do.
Kenny, with Western and particularly with Sharp in the middle, is there anything that you guys can take from Florida State, the way you attacked it and the way you wanted to attack it, that might carry over to him?
Well, I thought that after the Florida State game, the good situation in it, if there is a good situation, is that the game plan stays the same. Drive the ball, don't attack a 7'5" guy thinking that you're going to make a layup over him. Get him to collapse, make the extra pass. When we did that against Florida State, we had success. And it was the most assists we had this year. When we didn't do it and thought that we could score over the kid, well, this is the same kind of game plan. Maybe a little better shot blocker. So Western Kentucky is a very good team. They got a unique player, just like Florida State did. They can block everything around the basket. If you do attack him, you better get into his body. If not, he's probably going to block it. So.
Kenny, you've preached a lot this offseason, this current season, about just you want to lay your culture. It's win or learn, not win or lose. But do you at any point get concerned that the constant losing will start to supersede the efforts you're making in order to lay the foundation for your culture?
Great question. I can't allow it to. It's about the foundation. It really is. It's about playing the right way. It's about understanding winning basketball, not just playing basketball. Winning basketball is a little bit of the small things, setting great screens, making good passes, being a good passing team, which leads to being a good offensive team. If you're a bad passing team, how can you be a good offensive team? We're an example of that. We're learning about that, and we're working on that every day. I don't want to, and I don't know if I can with this team, try to find another way to build a culture. I trust what the culture that we're trying to do, the foundation of what we're trying to do, is good enough. We just got to play better. We got to play more together. We got to cut out our turnovers, and we got to rebound the ball better.
Kenny, to go back to Western Kentucky, just talking about Sharp with that shot blocking. When you get into a game like this, a team might want to shoot a lot of threes because they'll be intimidated to get into the post. Do you keep like a chart with these guys to discuss it, like don't shoot this many threes or paint touch? Do you kind of go over about that?
I don't say it like that. I would more like to say, once we collapse the defense and you're open, shoot it in rhythm. Don't settle. Because what can happen is, for example, if we do a ball screen high and we get the big kid out on the floor and we drive it and you got a chance to take a layup, we take him a layup. If he's not in the game and we can post up, we're going to take a post up. So we want the best shot. We just want it to be within a flow, within a rhythm, and play together, share the ball. Let's build on the assist thing that we did the last game. Let's build on that.
Coach, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the progression of your freshmen, Fabio, Devin, Kamari, and how they've progressed at this point.
I think they all would admit that it's been harder than what they thought. I would like to say that Fabio has a confidence, and so does Kamari, and they're good players. Devin is still learning, but Devin has a way about him that he'll shoot the ball regardless. Or he forgets about the miss and shoot the next one like he's going to make it. They're going to be good players. They all, and I'm not worried about neither one of them, but they're learning. And the issue becomes they're learning against very good basketball teams. And we got to get them to continue to get better, and they are getting better.
Kenny, you mentioned that what led to your conversation with L was that he was struggling a little bit with feeling like there was a lot on him and he wasn't allowed to make mistakes and that sort of stuff. How is he dealing with just all that you guys have asked him to do to be a scorer and to be a facilitator?
It's tough. He's never had to do this before. I'm sure in junior college he was a scorer. You look at last year, he played 15, 16 minutes a game, and he came in and was like a combo guard. Now, for him and for us, we need more. He is our primary ball handler, our best ball handler, our best facilitator. He's the one guy that gets in the lane better than any other player we have on this team. Now, when you get in the lane, now I'm asking you to mix up how you do this. It's a progression of you as a player getting better. Embrace that. Don't look at that as a burden. Of course there's going to be bumps in the road. Of course there's going to be days when it's hard. There's been a lot of that. Do I want him to average 5 turnovers a game? No. Do I want him to average 8 assists and maybe 1 or 2 turnovers? Yes. He has to digest the game. This is, at the end of the day, it's an instinctive game. He's trying hard. I need more. I need more.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
All right, guys.